Showtime.
We're live again.
Hey,
They keep letting us do this.
I know every week you say that. I'm like, I know. Are they gonna catch on sometime and be like, shut it down? Shut it down.
What are we doing? We're just letting them talk crap all day long.
That's it, all day long. Well, welcome back to the HONK Live show. It's Wednesday, July 7th, and we are happy to be here. We are still missing our girl Shelly. She's on vacation, so she will be back. I'm like, man, I want Shelly's vacation life.
Looks like she's watching us along those wherever she's watching from. Thank you, Shelly. We appreciate you. And we love you, and we miss you. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Hi, Ace. Thanks for hopping in. Yes. So how was your holiday weekend?
Not long enough.
No. Do not enjoy the extra Monday.
Not long enough. I needed Tuesday and Wednesday too. I just have. I love my job, but I love not doing anything more.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, because I'm still in Vegas. It's super hot, and all I wanted to do was just swim, be in a pool somewhere, and just live that life. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Hey, Nick out in Pennsylvania.
We got Derek, we got Quinn, we got John Dewey's. We got a lot of folks joining us already. Welcome aboard, everybody. We do have an exciting show. We have a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about today. There's a lot of things happening in the industry right now.
That's right. So many things going on. So we definitely want to make sure that we do. But before we hop into it, yes, Ace, you do need to meet Dennis at some point in life. And the best way to do that is we'll stay around and we'll tell you at the end of the show. How about that?
I do charge for autographs, though.
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't.
But maybe you should. Maybe you should. But before we get into this, make sure that you guys leave your comments and questions in the comment section for our guest. We are bringing on some pretty exciting guests today to talk about some hugely important news that's happening. So make sure that you guys, when we bring them on, we go ahead and leave our questions in the chat for them. That's right. Listen, shout out to Jonas.
We got a whole team working today.
Exactly. Caesar, thanks so much.
Caesar, welcome aboard.
And Ron
Toforce in the house.
All right.
Quinn, your stuff must have gotten lost in the mail. It's a little slow these days, I hear.
On its way, Quinn. Everything is on its way. Yes, if you are one of our previous winners, just know your belongings are in the mail. So it is on its way.
Winners of what, Yvonne?
Oh, previous winners of our trivia, and also for sharing episodes on our website, on your Facebook page. What's new this time is we're actually live on our YouTube page too. So you guys can watch it now on YouTube or on our Facebook page. But also we had some winners for the Wisconsin Tow Show. So we announced those winners last week, and we put out some things in the mail to you guys. So be on the lookout for that. It should be coming very, very soon.
We also wanted to shout out our friends over at Unlimited Towing. They won the Tow Times Shining Star Award, one of our favorite publications over at Tow Times. We love to keep an eye on what they're doing. So pretty cool stuff happening there.
Yeah. Derek says, please say a prayer for Chris from E&L Towing.
Yep.
So E&L Towing, I believe that is is that in Long Island?
Long Island was where the accident happened this morning. So yeah, definitely throwing prayers up for Chris, making sure hopefully he makes a speedy recovery and gets out of there pretty quickly. We're all rooting for him.
Yeah, for sure. And to that point, we're going to be talking about something super important today for Chris. I believe it was Glenn, also out in Cincinnati this past weekend, and for many other tow operators who've experienced some incidents on the road. And so we want to make sure that we highlight what today is all about. So before we get into that topic and before we bring on our guests, we definitely want to make sure that we throw out the trivia question for you guys for this week so we can get some more winners out there. Do you know what the trivia question is, Dennis?
I don't.
You don't? I do.
You know what the trivia question is this week.
the question is, where and what year? Actually, I didn't bring up the trivia question, and I should have.
Wait. I think I actually have it right here.
Where and what year was the first move over day signed into effect? Where, and here, I'll put it up for you guys. Where and what year was the first move over day signed into effect?
So there are two parts to this answer. There's a location and a year. It's a state and a year. And the first person to give us those two correct pieces of information in a comment together will be winning a prize from our swag closet this week.
Absolutely. So make sure you guys, I'm going to throw it up here for you so that way you can remember the question. We'll leave it up for just a few minutes and then throw your answers in the comment section.
And that kind of leads us right into our guests. We're talking about slow down, move over initiatives and the importance of those initiatives and really the future of slow down, move over and the public awareness portion of slow down, move over. Because we always talk about things on here related to it, but it's a multifaceted issue. We need to make sure the public is aware, and that's what we're going to talk about in a little bit as we bring our guests on. But we always talk about the safety aspect of it as well, talking about where to position your truck, making sure your equipment is staged the right way, making sure you have the proper lighting, the proper visibility. We've talked to all sorts of guests here and on our podcast about safety and training and high vis gear and all the things that go into that. So there's the operator safety portion of it, and then there's the public awareness portion of it that we talk about on the show as well. We're involved with the Slow Down Move Over Day in Arizona and with the California Towing Association. Quinn can tell you we were out there with him a couple of years ago, beating the pavement and just trying to get the word out on this. But our guests today have some really great information and some really great stuff that we're going to be talking about just a moment.
Yes. So before we bring them on, it looks like we already have a few answers in the chat. So let's see here. Let's see who our winner is. And it looks like Ray Brito from says South Carolina, 1996. That is correct. So congratulations.
That is the correct answer. Thanks, Ray.
Woo! All right. We'll write you down for the answer and make sure we get your information. Tom was on it. He was right there. I think it was like a 30-second delay before we could have got you the prize.
That's because we have him hidden backstage.
Oh, well, why don't I bring him on stage so we can talk about today and today's topics because he's the real prize. All right. Without further ado, we have Tom Parbs from Haas Alert and Jeffrey Godwin, the International Towing Museum. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Gentlemen, welcome to the show. We appreciate you showing up today.
Thank you. Very grateful to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could answer the question. In fact, the person that helped write that law was James Garcia. He was the paramedic that was struck while working on scene as a paramedic doing his job in 1994. And he actually got a ticket for doing his job for getting hit by somebody that didn't slow down and move over. And when he realized the atrocity of what that was, he worked feverishly for the next 2 years to get the very first slow down, move over law passed in South Carolina.
Wow.
Very cool.
Gosh. Tom, I feel like we're still going to have to give you a prize because you not only came with the correct answer.
Tom got his prizes.
He gave us the background story. So, Ray, you will still get a prize, but by default, Tom, you also will get a prize. I just think it's only fair, okay?
I love HONK swag. You know that.
I heard Tom's a big fan of our sunglasses. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. I've seen it in person. So
I even wear them at night like Corey Hart.
Well, thank you for joining the live show today. And Jeffrey, why don't you go ahead and give us just a little intro of you and your background in the industry, and we'll hop into what we're doing here today.
Sure. I'm Jeffrey Godwin. I've been in the industry for 28, 29 years now. In kind of all aspects, and currently serve as the Vice President for the International Towing and Recovery Hall of Fame and Museum, as well as Chair for the Survivor Fund and all of the fallen committees. And looking forward to this evening's broadcast.
Well,
Thanks.
thank you. Yeah.
And Tom's a returning guest. I mean, this is a man that needs no introduction. If you've been to a tow show, if you've been following media in the industry lately, you probably know who he is. But Tom, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself anyway?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Parbs. I'm the Senior Director at Haas Alert. I've been working with towers for a few years now, first in the telematics space. And now I'm grateful to be a part of the Haas Alert team and providing our slow down, move over alerts. I'm a military veteran, and I've been in sales and leadership for the last 20 years, helping people solve their problems and making the world a better place.
Very good, very good. So we're here to talk to you guys today. Tom, Jeffrey, you guys have brought a wonderful new initiative to the industry. I believe the official name is the No More Names on the Wall campaign. Would you guys like to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
Actually, how about Jeffrey? Why don't we start with what is the wall for those that don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. The Wall of the Fallen is a memorial wall in Chattanooga, Tennessee, on the museum grounds. And each year we add names to that wall of the operators who were killed in the line of service across the industry. And this campaign represents an opportunity to try to reduce the number of names and hopefully eliminate that at some point as a ceremony that we have to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that being said, how did this initiative even come about? And, when the wheels are spinning, what were your thoughts behind putting this together and really moving this forward?
Well, the initial idea came from Tim Smith at Webfleet, and in partnership with Haas, and as something that we might be able to do together. And historically, we haven't done anything to commercialize the Wall of the Fallen in any way. But this particular campaign really hit home with our efforts because over the years, we've been there for the families when somebody's struck and killed and when those things happen around the industry for whatever cause. But we're there after the fact. And so this is an opportunity to get involved on the front side and try to raise awareness, not only within the industry, but outside of the industry, and hopefully to reduce those negative statistics.
Yeah, this week has been a rough week already. I know we lost the driver over the weekend in Cincinnati. We just spoke about it briefly. And as Derek mentioned as well, we have another driver in critical condition in Long Island as we speak right now. So again, thoughts and prayers are out to his team and his family and the crew over at E&L. I've worked with them in the past before. Great crew over there. So our thoughts and prayers are with you, but we want to do more than thoughts and prayers. I posted today on some of the Facebook groups I'm tired of this. I'm pissed off. I'm tired of hearing about fallen operators. I'm tired of seeing Facebook posts where it's, light up the sky for a fallen operator. It's great. It's great to see that. It's great to see that brotherhood and that standing together, but I'm tired of the reason for it. And we want to do better. So Tom, why don't you take it away and just give us a little bit about what you guys are working on right now?
Yeah. And really fast before we go, Tom, I just kind of want to, for any new listeners or audience members that are just hopping on, this is Tom Parbs with Haas Alert, Jeffrey Godwin with the International Towing and Recovery Museum, here to talk about the No More Names on the Wall campaign. Make sure you guys share this episode. We're not only giving away prizes, but there are, it's such an important discussion that we're about to have that Tom is really about to explain. So we want to make sure that this gets in front of as many operators, their families, and your friends and family members as possible. So if you're just hopping in here, please feel free to share and get people into the audience so they can listen to this important initiative that we're about to talk about. So go ahead and take it away, Tom.
Thank you very much. So, I've had the privilege to work with Jeffrey and his team at the International Towing and Recovery Museum. One of the things that Haas Alert does with the museum is we understand with COVID, a lot of people want to get to the museum. So, if you went to their website, there's an actual 3D walkthrough tour that you could take. So it's almost like being there without being able to be there. And that's really where the relationship with Jeffrey and I really started gaining a lot of traction. And like Jeffrey mentioned, there's an amazing gentleman by the name of Tim Smith. He's from Webfleet, which is one of our integration partners, right? If you have their GPS, we could just turn on our slow down, move over alerts through the equipment you already have. And Tim approached me about this idea, and he's like, Tim, he said, Tom, my customers love the fact that they can turn on your safety cloud to get people to actually slow down and move over, so they're not being injured or killed or their equipment being damaged, and they love it. And he's like, it really means that people are going home to their family safer, which is what, like you were saying, Dennis, that's what towers and roadside assist and fire, police, even all these responders have been yelling at and screaming about from the top of the mountains for so long. Now. And he goes, for decades. And he's like, you guys actually work and you're making a huge difference, which means we're not going to put more names on that wall. Wouldn't that be great if we didn't have to put any more names on the wall? So he came up with this no more names on the wall. And so with my relationship with Jeffrey, I went to Jeffrey and I said, look, I love the survivor fund, because when an operator unfortunately is no longer with us, when they die, if they're tragically killed in the line of service, that family loses income. I mean, we can go beyond the emotional aspect of that's somebody's husband or wife that's not coming home to them anymore. That's, that's somebody's mother or father, kids that don't get to see their mom or dad anymore. That is terrible. So I said, Jeffrey, and he and I have had many emotional conversations about this. In a perfect world, we don't need the survivor fund anymore because everybody gets home safer. In a perfect world, we don't need the wall of the fallen, right? And we need it, but we don't need to put any more names on there. And I said, we've always focused on the reactive stuff when tragedy strikes, right? We have these amazing SDMO laws, but they only work when the bad stuff happens. You have to break the law in order to even enforce it, right? Or whatever the case may be, but the bad stuff has already happened. And I realized we don't live in a perfect world. So what if we made a difference and we stopped as much of it from happening? And I said, so Haas Alert is behind this 100%. Like, people think that we're like this new idea. We've been around for several years. We've proven our slow down, move over alerts 1 billion times over in the last 6 years. Every month, we prove it tens of millions of times more, right? We are getting inside of the motorist vehicle where they don't see your lights. They don't see your big trucks. They don't see your high vis. They just don't see these cones and lights and flares. You have to keep using them, but they don't see them. So if you want to get their attention and tell them to get out of your way, get in the car. And that's exactly what we do, unlike anyone else. So I said, Jeffrey, we want to commit. Haas Alert wants to put our money where our mouth is to make people safer. And if somebody comes and just meets with us, you don't have to buy anything. Just come sit down for a few minutes. Let's have a safety meeting. Let's talk about our safety cloud, our slow down, move over alert, how we grab their attention, how it removes 90% of the risk that our towers are facing on the road today. And we can get people home safer. Just learn about it. And Haas Alert is committed to donating money for every one of those meetings. We don't care if you buy. You don't have to buy. Just learn about it. However, we're going to take it a step further. For those organizations that want to start taking action, you want people to slow down and move over, you have to be the difference. You have to take advantage of the tools that will get inside of their car and get them the heck out of your way. And if you do decide to take advantage of our safety cloud services, we're going to donate even more money on top of the original donation. So no purchase required. Just come meet with us and we'll donate. You want to buy? Fine. We'll help you be safer. We'll donate even more money. And when I presented that idea to Jeffrey, I said, we just want to help because we don't want the problem to happen anymore. We know it's never going to go away 100%. So we need the survivor fund. We need to have the memorial, the wall of the fallen, to honor our brothers and sisters that we're dragging the chains from here on, right? But what if we can make it less? And so we are committed to doing everything we can to stop the problem from happening, as well as helping those that are in need if and when the tragedy strikes. And that's why we launched this No More Names on the Wall campaign.
You know, and thank you so much for that, Tom, because I can just not only do I feel your passion behind it, I mean, I think we're all here very passionate about the issue. And I'm reading the comments from operators who have experienced, close calls or sharing their experiences of why it's so important to be taken care of on the road, and why this initiative is so important. So I think it's just so great what you guys are doing, and I'm so excited to see the outcome. And if you're watching this and you're wondering, what else can I do? This is a first step. This is definitely a first step, is reach out, have that safety conversation. And even if you're already a part of Haas Alert, or you're already taking advantage of some safety features, you can always visit. I think Haas Alert put the link there in the comment section. You can visit and donate to the Survivor Fund. Like you said, the family that still needs to be taken care of. There are operators who can no longer work, who need to be taken care of. So, as a community, these are steps we can take.
Yeah, this is all about awareness. This is about the awareness stuff that we talk about all the time. Not just us here on this, but everybody across this industry is always, sharing slow down, move over, bend. We literally talk until we're blue in the face about this stuff. But this is a chance to actually do something that is really impactful. Tom and the guys over at Haas Alert, they have a great product. We're not here to sell you their product, but we're here to talk about the benefits of, having these alerts. The stuff is important, and the stuff that you guys are doing is really, truly amazing. Just having a conversation with Tom is going to put money towards a good cause. It's going to put money towards these families of these people, the families of these towers that have been, hurt and killed in the line of duty. So just have a conversation with the man, and it's going for a good cause. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and let me add to that, Dennis and Jeffrey. Before we even start on this, Jeffrey sat through the safety meeting. A lot of people see, hey, I'm a senior director of sales, I'm a salesperson. They think they're going to be sold, and that's not what you get when you come to anybody that works here at Haas Alert, right? We're not about the what we do, it's why we do it. And we really talk about safety. And so there is people that are customers, or I should say there are customers that are in the chat right now that could attest to this. It's not a sales pitch. We don't ask you to buy anything. If you meet with me, it's literally talking about, here's why the problem is so serious. Here's why, despite your lights and all the things you're doing, why the problem keeps getting worse and worse. Folks, we're at 30 line of duty deaths so far this year. We're 6 months into it, starting the 7th month. If we continue on this course, we are going to increase last year's number by 30-40%. That's insane. And there's ways to stop it. There's ways to make it better. There's ways to make it safer. So we just want to talk about the things that you can do and why. If you don't understand the core reasons of why it's getting worse, then you can't solve for the problem. So that's really what we talk about, be it 5 minutes, be it 10 minutes, be it 30 minutes, whatever. That's literally all we talk about. Yeah. There is no sales pitch.
Really fast, for those who are here that don't quite know enough about the Survivor Fund, if you could break it down for them just a little bit, Jeffrey, of the types of individuals that really benefit from the fund and that are going to benefit from the donations received through this campaign. I think that would also help as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The Survivor Fund's been around now for 16 years. And when we started, like anything, you have to start small. And our death benefit didn't even exist in the first year while we were raising money. And when we were able to start providing a death benefit into the industry, it was a flat $500. And through the generosity of partners around the industry, everything from selling $2 bracelets to large donations from corporations and our annual golf tournament and those types of things, we've been able to increase that death benefit pretty frequently. And today, a qualifying event, a payout, a gift to the family is either $7,500 or $9,500. The $9,500 is for those when a company is a member of the museum and a tragedy occurs. So it's more meaningful. It's certainly not life insurance kind of numbers, but it's an immediate response. When a tragedy occurs, we have folks on our committee, some of whom are on the chat now, and Those committee members reach out to the company in question. We don't reach out directly to the family. We make them aware of the benefit from the Survivor Fund and about the Wall of the Fallen if people aren't aware of the memorial. And we provide them the application form that's necessary, which is pretty quick and easy to fill out. And then we have a committee who reviews the circumstances to make sure that it is a qualifying line of duty death. And we get a check in the mail immediately. So we provide that instant relief because a lot of times operators are living paycheck to paycheck and their families need money to move forward. You know, the average operator who gets killed, I think these statistics we did through the 2017 year, is 43 years old, has nearly 3 kids at home, and is the only source of income for the family. So we're here to provide that benefit when those tragedies do occur. But I think that, quick conversation with Tom or someone from his team, I think people can learn the value of this solution and the fact that it really can save lives. And that's why we want to be involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad you mentioned Tom and his team. I'm going to bring on another one of his team members, Devin, here. Let's see here. Hey, Devin, thanks for hopping on and helping us out tonight. How are you doing?
I am great, thank you. I apologize for coming in a little bit later, but I'm so honored to be here today.
We're honored to have you and the rest of the team as well. Everybody, it's been a great conversation so far, and we're very happy to have you as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, and just to kind of piggyback on what Jeffrey was just saying, about being able to help out the family members or the operators who, have such unfortunate incidents where they're no longer able to provide for their family. This is for all of you out there in the audience listening. These are the reasons why we want to make sure that we have those conversations. Why you want to get on the phone with Tom and his team and Devin and have those conversations. So for you guys, Devin and Tom, what is the best way for them to communicate with you to start that conversation, to take the first step?
Go ahead, Devin.
Well, we've set up a web page, a landing page just for this campaign, and everyone is welcome to visit that at www.haasalert.com/no-more-names. Once you go there and sign up, then I will get in touch with you either via email or phone call. I generally like to call first. And then we'll set up a time where we're going to sit down with Tom and we're just going to talk about safety. And we're going to discuss with you, what it's like for you out on the roads and, the risks that you're putting yourselves in front of every day. And then we're going to tell you about what Haas Alert does and hopefully answer all of your questions. In fact, I know we can answer all of your questions because I do these calls with Tom every day. He's so passionate, so knowledgeable. I've been with Haas Alert since February, and every day I'm still learning new stuff about the system and about the towing industry. I get to meet amazing people like Jeffrey, who are just doing so much of a positive impact. So that's what you do. You go to that website, sign up, and then I'll call you. And that's it. We'll take it from there.
Nice and easy. This isn't even complicated.
I know.
Incredibly easy.
Well, we like simple.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, I also want to share, you can not only go to the website that should be up, and then, a member from the Haas Alert team will post it inside of the chat again. A couple of things I want to point out. If you don't want to meet, don't want to have the conversation,
you should, though. You should have the conversation. It's worth it. You
absolutely should, yes. But again, we're a no pressure kind of place, right? We really sincerely want to help, and I look forward to proving that to everyone. But if you're behind this cause and you want to support the Survivor Fund, if you go to our website to learn more about this, you don't even have to book a meeting. You don't have to talk to us. There is a spot you can learn more about the Survivor Fund and the Wall of the Fallen and the Tow Museum, and you can even just make donations directly to the Survivor Fund that goes directly to Jeffrey's team there that manages all that has nothing to do with us. But it's such an amazing, important cause. So feel free to do that. In addition to that, you can also go to towingmuseum.com and you can learn more about the Towing Museum. You can learn more about the Survivor Fund. There's even links at towingmuseum.com that'll bring you to the No More Names campaign, where you can book your time. You can put in your request. And like Devin said, she'll give you a call. She gets very busy as well. So do I. So one of us will give you a call. We'll reach out to you. We'll shoot you an email. We'll just set up a time that's convenient for you, and we can talk safety. The last thing I'll share with you, if you want to get in touch with us, is you're welcome to reach out directly to Devin. And Devin is spelled D-E-V-O-N. That's Delta Echo Victor Oscar November at haasalert.com. Haas is spelled H-Hotel, A-Alpha, S Sierra, Alert. Or you can just reach out to me. I'm Tom, Tango Oscar Mike at haasalert.com. Very, very simple.
Nice. There's the Marine coming out. And to take it a step further, guys, this isn't this isn't the end. Don't forget, we've had previous episodes with Quinn's here in the chat, and we just had him on a few weeks ago, about a month ago, talking about training for your team, why it's so important. So there's other things that you can be doing ahead of these incidents to make sure that you're keeping your team safe. But this is something that is going to take things to the next level, for not even just your team, but for the industry. And this is another moment, we always talk about this, where we need to come together and work as a group to make sure that, again, not one more name ends up on that wall. So thank you. Thank you so much, Tom, Devin, and Jeffrey, for coming on tonight's show. We really appreciate you guys just sharing the campaign with us and allowing us to share it with our audience and our listeners. If you're an audience member, again, be sure to share this episode. We always give away prizes for sharing. So you can't share enough. That just gets you more times into the bucket to be pulled for the prize. So make sure you share the episode and reach out, take that next step and go to the website and book your appointment with Devin and Tom. So that way we can make sure, again, not one more name ends up on the wall. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like we,
and if I could add one more thing to that, if everybody, just so everybody knows, the campaign will end when the Wall of the Fallen ceremony takes place at the tail end of the Tennessee Tow Show this October. And really, my goal personally is to hand a check to Jeffrey and the board for $20,000 or more. Let me explain how easy this will be if you can help us out. We just need 100 of the 50,000 tow companies in the United States of America, just 100 to come on board with us. And we're writing a check for $20,000. That's not including the meetings. That's not including anything else. But help us write that check for $20,000. I am going to give my all to achieve that goal or more. So please help us, help the Survivor Fund, and help the families of those that are fallen. And most importantly, let's help each other get home safer to our families.
Amen. Looks like we do have some questions still rolling in. Tom, Devin, will you guys be at any of the upcoming shows? I know Rob just asked about Baltimore in particular, but will you guys be at any of the upcoming tow shows on the schedule? I know you mentioned Chattanooga as well.
Yes. So starting first, we are going to be we're going to be at the Indiana Tow Show. That is at the end of the first week of August. I will be personally, both Devin and I will be at the Indiana Tow Show. Devin, what is that, the 6th, 7th, and 8th of August? I will be personally at the Northwest Tow Show. That's in Spokane, Washington. That is the 26th and 27th of August, I believe. Please forgive me if I've got these dates off by a day or two. Devin and I will also be at the Las Vegas Tow Show, hoping to get a chance to meet Quinn in person and shake his hand and thank him for everything that he's doing for the industry and for the CTTA. That is, we'll be there September 14th through the 18th. We will both be at the Tennessee Tow Show that for first week of October. I will personally be at the American Towman's Tow Games in Cleveland the second week of October. And then both Devin and I, again, will be at the Baltimore Tow Show in November. So we're really, really looking forward to that.
You're not going to many events.
He's not getting out much. Yeah, it seems like you're not
Right.
going.
So just
to throw this out there really fast. So Rob, don't wait until the Baltimore show to have that conversation. Call him before
Rob,
October.
I know your boss isn't cheap. Just get on the phone, make it happen. Your boss is not cheap enough to. This is not a problem for him. Let's make it happen. But while we're on the subject of tow shows, if you want to meet Tom and Devin, they just gave you their schedule. If you want to meet me and Yvonne, which some people have apparently asked about, I'll be hosting photo and autograph sessions. Apparently, I think that's what we're doing this year.
Yes.
We will be at the American Towman Expo August 5th through 7th in San Antonio. We'll also be at that Pacific Northwest Tow Rodeo in Spokane. We'll be in Vegas. We will be in Chattanooga, and we'll be in Baltimore as well, and a few others that may drop in as they come up.
Yep. And also be sure to just keep this conversation going. Share this link as many times as possible, the URL. But also we had an episode talking all about the technology behind the Haas Alert safety cloud and the digital alerting system. So if you want to listen to that, we talk a lot about safety as well, and just the importance, again, continue conversation, the importance behind what we're doing. We do have a link for that episode as well, so make sure you guys check that out. And we will see you at tow shows, and we'll go ahead and announce our winners in a few weeks from tonight's sharing.
Oh, Quinn says drinks are on me in Texas. Apparently, I don't know if I can afford your drink, Bill Quinn. only if they're on you guys in Vegas. That's fine.
Dennis, apparently your fan club thinks you are like a high roller of high rollers. I love it. Drinks are on Dennis. I'm with you, Quinn. I'm with you.
Tom, Devin, Jeffrey, we appreciate you guys coming on and sharing this message. One other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but another way you can also contribute to the museum and fund as well is through Amazon Smile donations. It's something I do. If you just use the, I believe it's smile.amazon.com URL, you can set the museum as your recipient. And if you shop on Amazon like I do, which is basically buy everything through Amazon, a few pennies get shaved off and it goes to the museum as well. It's not a dramatic contribution, but I know I'm good for about $50 a quarter just off of my grocery bill. So it's another way you can contribute and just add to the benefit and add to the good things that they're doing over there as well.
There's always ways. Let's see. All right. Well, I don't know about that, Derek, but we will consider it. Ron says he does that on Amazon, so you are not alone. So thank you so much. We'll be sure to put that link up in the chat as well, so everyone has the link to that. But yes, thank you so much for just hopping on today. Devin, Tom, and Jeffrey, we really appreciate you guys coming on and sharing with everyone about the No More Names on the Wall campaign.
You're welcome. And Yvonne, there was a question that I saw. Somebody asked, I kept mentioning the word like slow down, move over alert. Just before we sign off, could I quickly give a 10, 20 second overview of what I meant so people understand why this is so important. So when I talk about a slow down, move over alert, what we're talking about is we're getting an audible and a visual alert inside of somebody's car, whether through their phone or their infotainment system. And they're going to get an alert, hazard up ahead, there's a vehicle stopped, and then they're going to be able to see Eagle Towing on scene, please slow down, move over. PA Turnpike on scene, it's the law to slow down, move over. So what we have found and what the data shows, right, that when you're a tow operator and you're working on the side of the road, and you've activated your beacon switch. Remember, to use us, you don't do anything different than you do today. But when you activate that beacon switch, those alerts start going out about a half a mile, 30 seconds in advance. That's 9 football fields. We get inside of that person's vehicle, which is like their own little world, and they're distracted from talking on the phone, which is like driving with a .08 blood alcohol content, or they're talking to passengers or listening to their radio, their music. Those are the biggest distractions. So they don't see you guys. So we get in there and we grab them with an audible and a visual alert and say, hey, pay attention. And guess what? They pay attention and they start to slow down and move over. And it even impacts the driving behavior behind them, because now even if the people behind them, maybe they got an alert, maybe they didn't get alert, because we know we're not going to get it into everyone's vehicle, where we're getting into a lot of people's vehicles, it's still going to grab their attention because they see brake lights. And now they're going to see you 30 seconds or a half a mile in advance at high speeds if you're on a highway. They're now going to see your lights that they didn't see before. They're now going to see your truck and your high vis and your clothes and your cones and your signs. And they're going to have 30 seconds or 2,650 feet to actually slow down, because today they're not doing it. And if you're lucky, 2 seconds or less is all you get, breathing room. We're going to give you 9 football fields of breathing room to stay safe. That's what I mean by slow down and move over alert. That's what helps reduce your risk as much as 90%. So I hope that helps.
And Tom, correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is not just towers that are using your service, right? You guys have all sorts of agencies working with you right now.
We work with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. We work with fire, police, EMS, DOT, state police. We work with tow, roadside assist. We work with the Department of Homeland Security. We work with the Department of Defense. We also are the recipient of the U.S. DOT contract. We're putting this alerting service on school buses to protect our school children. We're also working with major emergency vehicle manufacturers like Pierce, Rosenbauer, Seagrave, KME, Ferrara, E1. You may have just heard we recently announced we're being put standard from the manufacturer from Fraser ambulances. You also may have heard that we, McNeilius, which is a garbage truck manufacturer, the Oshkosh Corporation, they're putting it on there. And in the next couple weeks, you're going to hear a major announcement that we are going to launch live inside of 4 of the largest OEM brands that are on the road today. Our alert's going to come standard on those vehicles, and we're starting that first round of public launch in the Detroit and the Detroit metro area. So I can't mention the name yet, but it's one of the biggest brands on the planet Earth. You don't have to have anything. Just drive their vehicle and bang, you're going to get those alerts. That's how we're going to get everyone home safe to their families. This is life-saving.
Do we get to break that news too, or no?
You better believe that you will be some of the first that as soon as I can mention
I have to ask.
Yeah.
Nice plug, Dennis.
I'd be like, I'll call Dennis and be like, Blue Horseshoe, love, positive. If you guys know the movie Wall Street, but there we go.
And like John just said, yeah, this needs to be mandatory. Yeah, and you know what? This could be. Go to your state association. Tell them that it should be mandatory for getting on police rotation contracts. Tell them this should be mandatory for getting on quick clearance programs and trip programs and things like that. Talk to your association. Tell them these alerts should be mandatory to get on these programs, and that's how we make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of associations, I just want to do a quick shout out to Angela Roper Barnett out in Arizona.
We love Angela.
Phenomenal for all the things that
she's amazing.
So she's such a huge proponent for this book. So yeah, I just want to give her a quick shout out because, one of the hardest workers for this initiative. Not specific initiative, but for slow down, move over laws out there. So as well. So.
Yeah, she did some great work recently with getting some stuff passed in Arizona. She's amazing. I know her personally. I think everybody on the call here knows her personally. She's amazing. And also, since we're talking about state associations, if you're a member of your state association, Haas Alert's got some discounts for you just for taking the initiative to do your part with the association. Again, we'd love to chat and keep doing what you guys are doing. You keep our roadways moving. And it's amazing what you do. I don't think you hear the gratitude and appreciation. Normally, you're on the receiving end of a customer complaining that you're trying to help them out. But keep doing what you're doing. You do an amazing job. And I'm thankful and grateful for that. And we want to get your back so you get home to your families.
So before we go, all the ways you can contribute. 1, share this post, get the message out. Share this video, get the message out. Get it to all your friends, your family, anybody not in the industry. Reach out to Tom and the Haas Alert team, schedule a call, schedule a conversation, listen to what they have to say. They're going to donate some money. Use their product, purchase their product, sign up with them. They will donate even more money. You can go to their website, or you can go to the museum's website directly. You can go to Amazon. There are ways you can contribute to the Survivor Fund and the museum. If nothing else, if you do that today or this week, Friday when you get paid, donate a couple bucks to the museum. It goes to a great cause. And we're all just here trying to make sure everybody goes home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, before we close everything out here, we want to make sure if this is your first time joining us for the Honk Live Show, thank you so much for joining. And we've had such a great time with our guests here from Haas Alert, as well as the International Towing and Recovery Museum. As always, to any Honk partners, be sure to make sure all of your operators are on the app and on duty to make sure you guys get more jobs. And of course, catch us at the next tow show, which will be in San Antonio at the American Towman Tow Expo.
And if you are not a Honk provider and you're interested in signing up, it's joinhonk.com. Easy sign up. We can have you taking towing and roadside jobs within 3 days.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. You have a good rest of your evening, and we're out of here.
See ya.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.